Thank you very much, Marco. First of all, I want to say hats off to you, to Jan, and the entire NOAH team. I think it's really, truly impressive what you guys have created over the past years.
Only with our speakers.
So deposit solutions. With deposit solutions, we're building a company that we believe is transforming the 10 trillion euro retail deposits market in Europe. And to provide you with a little bit of context, let me take a quick step back. So in 2010, I was the head of investors at the World Economic Forum, and I just spent a couple of years dealing up close with the global financial crisis and with the fundamental shifts in the financial industry. And at the time, we had three interesting observations. The first observation was that banks would clearly be required to hold more stable funding, and retail deposits were considered very stable funding. Secondly, when you looked at the global or at the European banking landscape, on the one hand, you had banks that had a retail infrastructure and had a lot of deposits, often too much deposits, and on the other hand, you had banks who didn't have a retail infrastructure and were looking for deposits. But there was no working transition mechanism between the two. And the third observation was that without healthy bank balance sheets, there would clearly be insufficient lending to people and businesses. So deposit solutions is really about addressing these fundamental challenges in a way that benefits savers, benefits banks, and ultimately economic growth. So how do we do that? In 2011, we began building a pan-European, the first pan-European open architecture platform for retail savings deposits. What does it mean? So on the one hand, we have banks that need retail deposits, and they can connect to the platform and list their products on the platform. On the other side, you have banks who have excess liquidity, and these banks can market these offers to their own clients under the same account relationship. And for the saver, that means that the saver suddenly gets a choice of deposit offers without having to switch bank accounts all the time. So essentially what we're doing is we're transforming the value chain by deduplicating retail infrastructure. So that's a pretty big game changer for the most important retail banking category. Basically, for product banks, they can get access to retail deposits without having to build their own infrastructure. For client banks, it means that they can offer an exciting deposit offering to their clients and strengthen the client relationship. And for the saver, it means he suddenly gets a choice and he gets access to better rates. So it's been quite a while since 2011, and we've come a long way. So today, through the existing partnerships, we can already reach more than 10 million savers in Germany. We can access a deposit base of more than 800 billion euro, and we already work with banking partners in 10 European countries. If I just take a snapshot of the largest savings market in Europe, Germany, we work with the largest independent retail bank, Deutsche Bank, which has more than 8 million clients. We work with largest independent retail broker. We work with a Fidelity subsidiary. We work with one of the largest advisor pools. And we'll shortly announce another partnership that will have effectively roughly the same reach as Deutsche Bank has. So we feel we're on a pretty good path here to building a middleware that can connect balance sheets across Europe. The interesting thing is that as a side benefit, we can also use our technology to transform the user experience of those savers whose home bank is not using our platform yet. And the way we do it is via our own B2C channel called Zinspilot, where every saver can open an account and can, through one account, access deposit products of multiple banks without having to switch accounts constantly. That's a smaller part of our business, but still one of the fastest growing fintech businesses globally. So we rolled out Zinspilot to all savers in Germany in September last year. And since September last year, we've mediated more than 1 billion euros in deposits through Zinspilot. Just last month, we did about 150 million. And it also had quite a considerable impact on savers as well. So the average interest rate 2016 on the platform was 1.26%, and that compares to about 0.26% as the average of the market. So the savers got 1% more in interest, de facto 5 times what they would have gotten otherwise. Overall, for us as a company, we think this is just the beginning. We're in a pretty aggressive European rollout. This year we've opened subsidiary companies in Switzerland and in the UK. And I would hope you guys stay tuned for some quite exciting announcements that I think that are gonna come out in the coming weeks. I wanted to close with a more general remark. At conferences like these, there's always a lot of talk about disruption. And in our business, we believe much more in symbiosis than we believe in disruption. So it's our belief that society needs healthy banks, that banks need fintechs, and that fintechs need banks. Thank you very much.